What's it been like watching this evolution of television and video games with Defiance?
I think it's great. You know, anything that could help expand the universe of a show, I think is great. Like, I'm a big Lost fan, and my favorite parts about Lost was in between episodes, you know, going online and like theorizing and talking about, you know, what's not said and what are the secrets of the episode. And I think that Defiance kind of has that too, in the sense that, like, oh, if you like what you see on the show, there's a whole universe that you can go out and explore and learn about all the little things that they have on the show. So yeah, I think it's great, and I think more shows should do it, you know, have that interactive ability about them.
Have you gone out and played the game?
I have. I'm horrible at it though. You know, it's funny. I go through phases of video games. For 11 months of the year, I won't touch it, and then for 1 month, it's all I'll do. You know, so I had my moment of just like binging it, just like, you know, closing the blinds and just making a cave and playing it. And then I realized, okay, I gotta like get out in the world and like find a job in the off season or something. So yeah, I had my time with it, and then I need to take, you know, breaks and breathers. So.
What's a game that you did before you had Defiance?
I was playing The Last of Us. Have you played that? Oh, I cried. The opening credits, I was crying. My mom comes down, she's like, what are you doing? Like, is everything all right? I'm like, this video game, I did. So yeah, I get invested, and I get emotionally invested in some of these games.
What are your thoughts about how far they've come?
Just video games in general? I think it's, you know, here's my theory. It's because I'm also a big fan of like the old retro gaming systems, you know? And the thing about those games is that they were so incredibly hard. They're like impossible. Like, there's this game my friend and I were playing, Sunset Riders. I don't know if you remember it. It's like the hardest game of all time. And so we went online and found a cheat code that gives you like 100 lives, and we almost didn't beat the game. Like, we almost didn't beat the game with the cheat code that gave you 100 lives. So that's how hard they were. And nowadays, I find with the new games, there's no really cheat codes anymore. The cheat codes have kind of like, it's not as prevalent anymore, because, you know, you die, you get respawned, you know, and it's, so I think games are kind of evolving that way. I don't know if that's for the better or for the worse, but there's something like I loved about those old retro games, that they were just so they were so simple, but so incredibly hard. Like, you kind of have to like go to the edge of a cliff and make sure you're standing like a bit off of it before you jumped. Was the only way you're gonna make it. So yeah, I kind of like that about the old games versus the new ones. But yeah.
When it comes to Defiance, do you guys play games at all on set?
Well, I have like a Retron system in my trailer. I know that Grant's got like an Xbox in his. I think Grant plays the most video games out of everyone, surprisingly enough. He's like really into it, like invested in some of these games. So yeah, what do we do for fun? I don't know, we just kind of joke around on set. We just make fun of each other, actually. Like, Tony and I just like make fun of Jim Murray like all the time, and vice versa. We just like do impressions of him, and he's just like, he gets really mad, and his hands bunch up like this, and he goes, I don't sound like that. So yeah, that's how we have fun. Plus, you know, it starts snowing when we were shooting. Like, we were in Canada and it starts snowing, so I'd make snowballs and throw it at Tony and stuff, and I get them to film it. Like, we film his trailer, I knock on his door and he answers, and I just like throw a snowball at him and he goes nuts, and I run around, and that's what we do for fun.
It seems like in season 2 you're taking a lot more baths in Defiance.
Yeah, a lot of baths. I don't know how that, what that was. Was it the fans or was it like a network decision? They were like, get that kid in the bathtub. Whatever you do, we want numbers. I don't know, but I'm in there. It makes sense. It's my family bath. I gotta shower sometimes or take bath, bathe myself. So it only makes sense. You know, I think there's more people who have been in the bath than people who haven't at this point. So yeah, it's, you know, it's part of the show, you know.
All that makeup, I'm assuming, is difficult to keep on.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, we got to be underwater, and the makeup's got to stay on. So you can imagine at the end of the day when we're just trying to go home and take the makeup off, it's not as easy as just like splashing water on your face and wiping it off. It's like we really got to, like, you know, put like all this stuff on it just to take it off. So yeah, it's some real heavy-duty makeup. And plus, I'm like darker than Tony and Jamie, so they got to like buy extra makeup, you know, like extra buckets of makeup, and they throw and they lather it on me. So yeah, it's a lot of makeup.